Hello, welcome to my channel, Small Optics. My name is Jason. Now, if you're new to this hobby, then you've probably quickly come to realise just how few precious clear nights that we get. It just always seems to be cloudy. You know what it's like, you plan your entire week thinking, oh, I can't wait for the weekend, and then lo and behold, you're clouded over. So it does help sometimes just to have a good, reliable weather source. And I mean, no weather station or weather app or whatever can ever be 100% accurate, as we know. But these two, which I'm going to show you now, are pretty good. I mean, like I say, these are the ones, my go-to weather stations. So without further ado, here's my favorite two weather stations. Okay, the first one is one called AccuWeather. There it is there, as you can see, ACCU Weather. Excuse me. Now, I will, of course, leave all links to all these in the description, so you'll just be able to jump onto it. Now, when you first open the website, obviously you're going to have to enter your location, all the rest of it, and that'll put you in the right point of the globe, if you like. Now, the first map on here, now let me just put this on full screen so we can see it. Now, what I like about this, you've got three maps, and there's only two I use. This one, the radar, and the satellite view. Now, this is simply showing you where the rain is. Well, rain means clouds, doesn't it, usually? So, and as you can see, over the United Kingdom at the minute, where I'm based, we'll just zoom in, and obviously you can zoom in. I'm just using the scroll wheel on the mouse. You'll have to excuse the speed of my computer. It's a little bit ancient. It should be in a museum. But as you can see, there's very little rain around where I am at the minute, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's no cloud. So for that one, what I do is, oh, by the way, the scale at the bottom here shows you what's what. And it's done a little bit strange, admittedly. It's done like a colour coordinated system. Green means rain, and into red, I should imagine the more that is the more severe it is, I should imagine. Green is light rain, red's heavy rain, same with the snow and the ice. But that's pretty self-explanatory. Like I say, it isn't incredibly detailed, this one. The next one I'll show you is absolutely fantastic, actually. But what I'm going to do now is just show you this one that's quite useful. If we just click out of that, if you go at the top here, you can see you've got radar and satellite, and this is just nice just to have a look, just to see what the clouds are actually doing around your area. And it does have a nice little feature on this, which I'll show you. And that is pretty much how it looks at the minute outside. Let's just big screen that for you. There's the UK in the middle, and as you can see, we've got a big bank of cloud. I'm about here in Chesterfield, and as you can see, it's dismal tonight, and you can of course zoom in a lot more. But you've also got this nice little feature here of a play button, which I think spans about 2 hours, so you can see how things are going to turn out, and if you've got, you know, any joy after 2 hours. In actual fact, in about 2 hours time, it does look a little bit clearer. You never know, might be able to get the scope out after all, but we'll soon know on the next website. Anyway, that's the first one, AccuWeather, and as you can see, I use it more for this this feature here, this satellite feature, and just to see where the rain is, really. Right, moving on to the next one. We'll get rid of that. Get rid of that. Now I'll go on to my main page for this, because I've already got it right here on my shortcuts, and that is the famous, or infamous, which one is it? I don't know. Clear Outside. Now this is an absolutely fantastic weather station. If you're not aware of Clear Outside, well, obviously you're not, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. Excuse me. This is designed by First Light Optics, who have also is an excellent telescope supplier. So massive hats off to First Light Optics for doing this website, because it's totally free and it's excellent. It really is. Now, this, as you can see here, at first, don't think, oh God, look at all these numbers. What do all these mean? It's really self-explanatory, really. The best ones you want to have is these blue ones. If one night you look at it and all this is blue with low numbers, that means it's good. White, unfortunately, is bad. And as you can see, this, because if you look over here, I don't know how well the camera's picking that up, but this is your total cloud coverage and low cloud coverage. And as you can see, it's on 100% all night. If you look up here on this pinky red, I don't know which color it's showing, it's probably showing red on the video, this is your hours or what time it is. You know, you got 2200 hours, 2300 hours, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, etc. This little band here is showing you the darkness from daylight into darkness. So you're seeing that from 11 o'clock till about 2 o'clock, you know, just after 2 o'clock in the morning is when, you know, is total darkness. After that, it's dawn and getting lighter. So it just shows you your little window, wherever you may be in the world, of how much total darkness you've got. Instantly, that's a useful feature. On the left here, it shows you also the moon phase, which is also, you know, incredibly useful. The other thing, I mean, I'll let you discover all the features you want for this, and you know, you'll find whatever, you know, that you may find interesting to you. But this is pretty good. I mean, if you look here, we've got ISS Passover, which is just awesome. I mean, once you've put your coordinates in of where you live in the world, because this is, oops, sorry about that. I always do that. I always knock the camera. Wherever you are in the world, it'll show you when the ISS Passover is, which is absolutely fantastic. I love that feature. All in, you know, I mean, you've got everything on this app. Another great little feature that this has, when you scroll down, is it does have the pressure. Now, for all you astrophotographers out there, we all know that eye pressure is always a good sign, and it's not just for astrophotography, it's just good for general visibility. Even if you're just a visual astronomer like myself, you know that high pressure is going to be a good night's observing. So when it's all good, you want this in high pressure and all these in blues and low numbers, then you're in for one hell of a night. But anyway, what else you've got, the other great feature about this one on Clear Outside is it's a 7-day forecast, so you can really plan your week ahead. As you can see, and not only that, if you've got all your phases like that, so if you're a lunar observer, you know, you can check what's the best side, and to be honest with you, all your 29% up to about 68% is the best time to observe the moon. It's a misconception. It's the best time to view when it's full. It's not. So always do it when it's at one of its phases. So like I say, you can really plan your weekend ahead with this website. So let's have a look for Saturday, for instance. See if we can get excited. We click on Saturday, and as you can see, it's a lot better than tonight. We have actually got some blues, which is always a good thing. Actually, Saturday night doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's very rare you get these as zeros. It does happen, very rarely, but it does happen. But unfortunately, it's really, you know, it's early hours of the morning when it's going to start clearing up. As you can see, it's 87%, right up to about, you know, midnight and beyond. So, but anyway, yeah, Saturday night doesn't look too bad. So anyway, there you go, folks. Have a good play with this one. Like I say, it's really useful. It's got so much detail in there. It's so it's so astronomy friendly. Well, that's what it's designed for. It's designed for astronomers. It really is. If you've stuck around this far, you're in for a treat, because there's another little feature I want to show you on that's kindly provided to us free of charge by First Light Optics. Is if while you're on clear outside, jump onto useful links just here, okay, and we click onto useful links, and these are useful, but what I want to, you can have a play around and have a look at these yourself by all means, and I advise you that you do, especially Stargazer Lounge and the shop. But astronomy tools, this is fantastic. It really is. To say this is a free bit of software, it really is fantastic. No downloads involved, by the way. This is all totally a website. Now, if we click onto astronomy tools, what you've got here is straight away all these little free features which are brilliant. You've got a field of view calculator, which is the one we're going to look at. You've got a star chart, a cloud forecast, and lookup coordinates. Now, I'll let you have a play with these yourself, and I'll not do any spoilers for you, but this is the one I would just want you to have a look at, because we'll just click on field of view. This is fantastic. This really is useful. I use this all the time. Now, I'm just going to keep it simple. Let's say you're a visual astronomer and you want to know what each eyepiece does for you in your collection. You have no idea if you want to know what a certain Messier target looks like, or the solar system, whatever. This is the site to go on to. Now, what this does is it shows you the field of view of each eyepiece, but it also gives you a lot of additional information, such as magnification, exit pupil of your eyepiece, and everything. It's fantastic, it really is. And the other really awesome thing about this is, if you've got a branded telescope of some description, pretty much 98% of the time you will find it in here, okay. And this is the good thing, you can actually put all the equipment that you're using, so this ain't going to be an estimate or a kind of an approximate, it is going to be exactly what you're going to see. So I'll put my kit in, my kit in that I'm using at the minute. You would obviously put yours in. So if you just click on here on telescopes here, you can see you've got, I'll just scroll down a little bit, a list of all the telescopes that are out there, starting in alphabetical order. Well, mine's a Skywatcher, so we're going to come right down onto the S's. Further up, SK, so we look for Skywatcher, there we go, it's a Skywatcher. What is it? It's Explorer. Yes, it's an Explorer. I had to think, I forgot what telescope I've got. Skywatcher Explorer 130M. There we go. There is my telescope. Okay, the Skywatcher Explorer 130M. So we'll click onto that. Now automatically it's going to fill in my focal length, okay, because it is a 900 focal length. You don't have to do any of that, and it'll automatically fill in your aperture for you, because it knows that telescope, because it's in its database, obviously. The other awesome thing is you can just put in what eyepiece you're using in. Now, if you have, again, a branded eyepiece, you will find it in this list here. Now, I'll just go with the standard eyepiece that Skywatcher provided, which is the Super 10s, and the Super 25s. I've got a very sensitive mouse in my hand, and I keep clicking on the thing, so sorry about that. Right, we'll do the drop-down box. Okay, back down to Skywatcher, so we want to come right down, that's too far. Right, okay, up a bit. If we're going to help it, there we go. The Super 25 is there. Just scroll down a bit. We've got the Super 10 there and the Super 25. They're the two modified achromatic eyepieces that are provided with a lot of telescopes. So we'll start with the 25. Okay, so we've got that banged in now. So we've got all our setup, the setup that we're going to use tonight, and we want to know what this setup. Now, if you look here as well, it'll also give you the field of view here, which is roughly 50 degrees. Excuse me. So now let's pick a target. Let's go for Andromeda Galaxy. Yeah, or maybe actually Andromeda is probably a little bit too big. Let's go for Hercules Globular Cluster M13, a very popular target. Okay, so you want to know what that's going to look like. Now, if we scroll a bit further down, now because we've selected everything, we've selected as target, as eyepiece, blah, 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 we come down, you see this big black box. All we have to do now is add the image to this box, and we click here on this add to view just here. So if we click on that, and what this is giving us now is the view that we will be getting through the eyepiece. Now, when I say view, I don't mean this part, okay? This is this is probably what you get with a timed exposure photograph, okay? Don't expect to see it big, bright, and as like that, all right? It's not showing you what it's going to look like in the eyepiece. What this website does is showing you what the field of view in the eyepiece is going to be, the space you would see around. And in this case, it's the 25mm in a 130 scope, 900 focal length, and this is the field of view with that 25mm. Now it tells you all this at the bottom here, or you can go onto this little drop down box and it will tell you everything. Now it's probably not picking up here, but it's showing me the scope, what we're using, the eyepiece. It's telling me if we're using a Barlow lens, well, we're not. It's telling me the exit pupil. And it's also telling me the magnification. Now, this is really useful for all those who don't know, you know, what magnification of what eyepiece, you know. There's an easy formula to it. I have covered it, but this will just do it all for you. You know, if you ever wondered what your 25mm eyepiece magnifies, put all the information into this and it will tell you. And in this case, it's 36 times magnification. Now, what also you can do is you can mix and match eyepieces without doing all this. So let's, for instance, say, let's have a look at it with this Super 10. Well, we've got the 25, so let's put a 10mm in now. So we click on the 10mm. Now, when you scroll back down, you may notice that there's nothing's really changed. It looks pretty much the same. That's because we need to add the image or add the view, okay, up on this little box. So always remember to do that. We add that, and now you can see a new circle's appeared, a yellow circle. Now this is a 10mm field of view, and as you can see, what you can see around the target is dramatically reduced. But again, we now know that the magnification on this bottom bar here is now at 90 times. Now, if you want to know what the sort of image size is going to be, because if you notice the image size hasn't changed, we need to get rid of our 25mm, the red circle. And you can do that simply by just crossing off here, cancelling out the red circle and just cross that off. And now you can see the image is really boosted up. And that's pretty much the size of what it does show. It's, like I say, it's not going to be as bright as this. It's the field of view calculator that it's showing you, not so much, you know, the actual what you're going to see. But it's a lot of fun to have a play around with this. But one thing I do love about this is it really does give you a true scale of what the planets look like, because there's a lot of fancy photographs out there, and if you've never seen the planets and you buy a new telescope expecting to see what you see in these photographs, you know, a lot of people can be very disappointed, because in actual fact in the eyepiece planets are very, very small, and this website really is honest about that. And as an example, let me just show you what Saturn looks like in realistically. So if we put Saturn in there, we'll take off, we'll even put it on a 25, just show you what it looks like on a 25. I mean, you would do this to find it, I would suppose. We add view, and let's just get rid of that one. And as you can see, this little tiny dot in the middle, that's at 36 times magnification. So yeah, pretty useless with that. You're not going to see much there. So what you would do is you'd think, well, let's add a 10mm eyepiece. So we'll switch our 25 out to a 10. We add that to the view, and we get rid of the 25 like that. And as you can see, now we're starting to see someday. Now this is at 90 times magnification, and as you can see, you can't actually start seeing the rings, but this is giving you a really, look at all this space around here. You know, this is a tiny little thing, and planets look small in the eyepiece, folks. All right, and this is a realistic view. And don't think that putting, you know, if you've got a 12-inch telescope, you know, as opposed to an 8-inch telescope, and you can try this on here, you can swap it up, you can knock that up to the aperture up to as big as you want. And these images do not change. Right? In actual fact, what happens is this is probably more what it looks like in a 12-inch scope, as in the brightness. Because smaller scopes, it's not going to be as bright as that. It's going to be small and it's not going to be as bright. So it's just something to be aware of. Okay, and this is when I say aware of, something to be aware of when you've never bought a telescope, and if you're planning, I'm sorry to keep knocking the camera, and you're planning to buy a telescope, jump on here and just have a look, so you know what to expect then. You know, you know not to expect these huge, great, detailed images that you see on the photographs. Anyway, folks, I'll let you have a play around with this site. Like I say, there's nothing you can damage, and you'll have a lot of fun with this one. It's great, and I do check out these other little features on it, yeah, just have fun. Like I say, I'm not saying that these are going to be 100% accurate, but 90% of the time they're not bad, really. Let me know in the comments if you know of some weather stations. You know, I mean, there's literally hundreds of them out there, and maybe share with us some of your favourite ones. But I've got to be honest, the Clear Outside by First Light Optics is definitely my favourite one. I mean, that'll take some beating. I mean, it purely is designed really for astronomy, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with that field of view calculator as well. Well, in the meantime, guys, don't forget, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. It really is appreciated. And subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. You never know, that next video might be just the one you've been looking for. In the meantime, I wish you all good weather, clear skies, take good care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.